Thanks for tuning in to High on Horror. I'm Drew.
And I'm John. This episode and every future episode is dedicated to all the horror hounds and smokers out there who want to expand their knowledge of the genre and have a good time.
Today we're reviewing Godzilla Minus One. It's all everyone is talking about, myself included. It's already broken records over here in the US at the box office. It became the highest grossing opening weekend of a live-action Japanese film. And the Monday after its opening weekend, it came in at number 1, which is the first time in 19 years that a non-English live-action film has done that.
Yeah, and after grossing $11 million over 4 days, they decided to extend its theatrical run until December 13th. And they released it in 2,500 more locations in the US and Canada. And now it's the highest rated blockbuster of 2023 on IMDb.
Trust me when I say that we cannot wait to talk about it today on High on Horror. Interviews, reviews, and the latest news all rolled into one. I gotta say, I really love the Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire trailer. We got to see Scar King a little more, their new foe. We see Godzilla's new design where he glows pink and looks amazing. This just looks like pure fun, and I am all for it. My son is extremely excited for it. I've walked in on him in my bedroom just watching the trailer on YouTube and geeking. It's a pure, beautiful thing to see, and I cannot wait to watch it with him. Did you watch it yet, John?
Yeah, I saw the trailer just recently. Not as excited as I was for Godzilla 1 to see it, to see New Empire. But yeah, Godzilla looks interesting with pink. I still don't know how I feel about it.
Oh, interesting. I like it.
But yeah, and Kong old as dirt now.
A lot of grays,
he looked
right?
like Cranky Kong from Donkey Kong Country.
Cranky Kong.
Did you ever play those games?
No, I never even heard of Cranky Kong.
It's Donkey Kong Country games. You never played those on Super Nintendo?
No, I guess I missed all that.
Cranky Kong, but the theory is now get out into Donkey Kong. The theory is Cranky Kong is actually Donkey Kong, and the Donkey Kong you're playing as in the game is like from Donkey Kong Jr., like back on NES. So yeah, but anyway, he be looking like Cranky Kong. So I'll show you a picture of that after we stop recording. But you'll know what I mean. He's silver and white as fuck.
Yeah, you'll have to definitely show me. I love legendary Godzilla, as I've said before. You know, the movies where Kong's involved are definitely not as serious as either Big G or Kong solo movies. They're more popcorn blockbuster style movies aimed at kids and teenagers, and that's okay. I love that you have Toho over here pumping out some of the greatest movies you'll ever see. And then over here in America, we have popcorn monster brawl extravaganzas. It's two totally different types of film. One is a serious drama and the other is a senseless action movie. And I love both, and I'll indulge in both. And that's okay. I love that we're in a time when there's both to enjoy, and that if you don't like one, the other one's an option. Godzilla's never been this big before in the movies, not to mention the Monarch show that's happening right now, which is also really good. He's never been this big in pop culture. The Reiwa era is the biggest era yet, 70 years in and going strong. Release date for Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire is April 12th of 2024. Okay,
right around my birthday and 420.
Yeah, and I love that everyone is saying how Kong has the Infinity Gauntlet. It's like everybody's like, why's Kong got an Infinity Gauntlet? That's
what it looks like.
It's a brace. You said Transformer. You said when you saw the trailer, you said Transformer, that Bumblebee arm.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought it looked like. But yeah, I could see the Infinity Gauntlet.
But Kong gets injured in the movie. This was something that had been known long before the trailer came out. Kong gets injured, and that's like a brace that is made for him by Monarch, I guess, to make it so he's still able to fight. So, yeah, very interesting.
We gonna get a Millie Bobby Brown in this one now?
No.
She too big for Godzilla?
Yeah, I think she's filming Stranger Things. No, Stranger Things 5 doesn't start filming until January. I don't know what she's up to, but
she said no.
Maybe they didn't need her anymore.
No more Godzilla and Kong for her. So, I guess with that, we'll go ahead and get into Strain Wreck here before Minus One.
It's time for Strain Wreck, that segment of our show where we discuss what we're getting wrecked on. What's on the slab today, John?
We had I don't even know how many episodes, but Got us some can of Blitz. I need to go and get some more. But,
We've had this before, I believe.
But
Like you
last
said,
time I
know
don't
how
think I
long
had
ago.
any information on it. But
Okay.
very little on Leafly here. Can of Blitz is a hybrid cross of Blissful Wizard and Purple Punch.
Ooh.
Its dominant terpenes humulene and mycin contribute to its flavor, aroma, and potential effects. Can of Blitz is recommended for curbing appetite, stress, and arthritis. It's grown and harvested and cured in I don't know what a CGMP certified facility in Maryland is, but it's cured there, so we got that.
So we got that.
But yeah, we don't have any reviews for it. The THC is 21.21.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I remember smoking this, but when you read off that description, it sounded very familiar. I started to remember it, and this is our first episode back in a few weeks, so I'm gonna laugh if I go back in a few years and listen to these episodes, and I'm like, that was the shit we smoked on the episode before our little break, because I feel like that was fresh, but I'm not sure.
But
like
maybe
you
it's
said,
because you're high and that's why you remember it.
I don't know how many episodes ago it was that we had that, but.
Because I watched an episode. What the fuck was the episode I watched? I watched a video with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and it was talk about learning things, and you're more prone to remember things based on how you learn them. So, like, if you learned something when you were high, or you might have trouble remembering it. He even mentioned this specifically. He's like, people that smoke, and that's when they learn something. There's studies to show that if you get high again, that's how you'll be able to remember, because it's under the same circumstances. So
that's great.
If you just learn everything high, then we're good.
So if somebody just blacks out, you just pass them a bowl. Here, hit this. They'll tell me what happened. Got to write that into a stoner comedy or something. That's great. All right, I guess let's talk about -1, man.
All right, so the reason we're all here today, Godzilla -1. And to put it simply here, I wonder why the hell you're reaching over. I was like, I do something wrong.
Grabbing the lighter, my bad.
You good. Enjoy. To put it simply, it's post-World War II Imperial Japan. Post-atom bomb. And we get Godzilla. We get a small Godzilla to start. It's not even really like a spoiler, because this is like right from the jump.
He's like a little dinosaur.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I was surprised how small he was at first.
Well, it had been spoiled for me actually like a week before, because I saw an action figure leak of it, so I had known that it was going to show him as like a dinosaur before he evolved. So he was still pretty big, but not Godzilla big. He was dinosaur big, not Godzilla big.
And then we end up seeing some more of the post World War II nuclear test, and I guess he just eats them Johns. He just starts getting swole. Now the thing that did surprise me is I didn't watch too many of the trailers, despite all the trailers you were sharing. I stayed away from a lot of them, and a lot of the shit leading up to this. I wasn't prepared for this because I got super baked, and I'm thinking like Legendary style, like Godzilla's
popcorn movie. Yeah,
he's just here to wreck shit. Dude, I got too high for that. I just got depressed. I'm like, man, I'm feeling like I'm personally in post-World War II Japan and dealing with this shit. I was like, this is too much. This is getting too intense. I was like, I need Godzilla to destroy something, because this story's just so depressing.
I agree. I agree. If you don't mind, I just wanted to butt in here and say that, I really love how -1 castigates any loss of life. It condemns war on both sides, and in general, like you said, it's depressing. You see it from the survivor's perspective. They're broken. You see
that's actually in my wrap up. No, now I'm cutting you off. I literally said everyone's broken in their own unique way.
Yes, everybody's broken. You see their trials and tribulations, and in seeing that, you see that the movie is calling out both Japan's wartime government at that time, because a lot of people were forced to fight who did not believe in the war, and the U.S. for the disgusting damage wreaked by that nuclear attack. -1 is a reminder that our evil actions and their consequences will always come back to haunt us, and that war isn't over after bombs stop dropping and guns stop firing.
And even more so than just the it's funny because like you're touching on stuff I had in my like notes to give my like score, but
And you're the war guy, so I figured you might have
like
some
it's
shit.
not even just the atomic bomb, it's the firebombing campaigns of Tokyo that actually in a lot of cases actually had more devastation to life than the actual atom bomb.
Wow.
I think if you've seen Oppenheimer, I think they also, if I remember correctly, I've only seen it once, but I think they also talk about that as well.
I remember it
Oppenheimer.
being mentioned, yeah.
But yeah, and then I had Godzilla was small when we first saw him, and Homie was a bit tiny. That changed later, and like this is also I feel like something as American audiences we don't see too much of is the other side of the Pacific theater of World War II from the Japanese perspective, and that's I said the firebombing campaigns against Imperial Japan. I want to say that who was your favorite character in the movie?
I would have to say that my favorite character would be Koichi. I liked his I liked his Plath.
Noda was my guy.
Okay. Yeah, he was good.
Look,
funny.
And the other thing is, I don't know if it's too much of a spoiler, just saying, I mean, he's kind of the scientist guy, you know, and he comes up with a plan. And the thing I like is people ask him, like, is this going to work? And he doesn't, like, go, oh, yeah, it's going to work. He just says, I don't know.
There's no
and then they're like, you want
yeah.
us to do this? He's like, well, what's your plan? Like,
Yeah, what
like,
do you, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, like, this guy's telling you, like, I don't know that this is going to work, but nobody else is doing anything, so we got to try something.
I want to say real quick that I really love the look of this Godzilla. While we're talking about Godzilla, let's just talk about that real quick. I think that this is the best he's ever looked. I love the look of legendary Godzilla a lot, but this is just, he looks amazing. He's a spectacle to behold, so to speak. He's terrifying looking. He's cool looking. He looks fucking deadly. It's equal parts Heisei Godzilla and Godzilla the Ride with some legendary sprinkled in. It's funny because Takashi Yamazaki said that Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All-Out Attack, or GMK for short, is his favorite Godzilla movie. And at the end, when Godzilla is all icy, sorry, you know, there's going to be spoilers here. We'll try to keep it spoiler-free, but there's going to be some that slip. At the end, when he's all icy and charged up, he looks just like GMK Godzilla with the white eyes. I actually am not a fan of GMK. It's one of the worst in my opinion, but it's cool to see the reference. And we've never seen him regenerate like this. He heals up like the fucking T-1000.
The other thing is, I was going to say, the way he swims, we don't usually see. Like you'll see the spines out of the water, but you never see his face just kind of like on the surface as he's swimming.
Yeah, he's like eyeing his attack for sure. Like just hunting a boat like it's a toy in his bathtub.
Yeah. And also, you know what I was thinking of? Pennywise from the new It, where he's like in the water with his hand.
It was a set. Yeah.
Also, name another Godzilla movie that pulls at your heartstrings.
Right.
It's funny because I was actually watching. After I typed up my notes, I watched James Rolfe's review.
Oh, okay.
And he was like,
angry video game nerd?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like, he said, you know, I might even admit, you know, I might have got a little misty-eyed at the end of a Godzilla movie.
I did. I got misty-eyed both times I saw it. I actually, tears dropped the second time. I thought I would have been better the second time. I actually was
You know,
sadder.
that shit's weird when you're always like, I'll be fine this time because I know how it plays out. And then you're like, nope, it's still affected me. Like Dark Knight Rises, man.
Yeah.
It still gets me every time.
I loved every
Goddamn
character
Alfred.
in this movie, dude. You know, all of them. Like, speaking of crying, that's why, you know, even Koichi's rude neighbor.
Yeah.
None of the characters are paper thin. Everyone's likable. And you as the viewer understand every character's struggles, as we just said before. You know, I love the coward-turned-hero story of Koichi, and he doesn't see himself worthy of anyone or anything and suffers PTSD badly. He broke my fucking heart in that one scene when he has that big episode, you know.
Yeah.
He really loses so much, and he decides that, you know, he has to take action and fight, and in so becomes the hero and redeems himself. It's just deep, layered characters, and that's why it pulls at your heart.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Godzilla is like a Pokemon in this shit, just like evolving and shit, just like a giant Pokemon. I guess I'll go into my ratings because I figure pretty much anything we've got left to say at this point is probably going to be spoilers.
Well, no, let me join.
Okay.
Let me before you do your rating. I just wanted to say one more thing. We had talked about the dinosaur thing, and one of the things I wanted to mention was I love the quick little insert shot that we get as all the characters, we see the years passing as the characters are rebuilding their lives and getting jobs, and we see 1946 roll around, and that's when the nuclear test on Bikini Atoll were happening. And you just see like one of it just says 1946 Bikini Atoll, and you see a nuke cloud, a mushroom cloud, and you just see like some charred lizard skin and hear that screonk. And that's when you're like, oh shit, that's saying right there. We talked about this before we recorded. That's saying right there, that's when he evolved. He was that dinosaur. That bomb right there, the bomb that dropped after the war was over is what mutated him. So I really liked that we got to see like a quick. My wife even said when I talked to her about it after the movie, she said, I don't even remember that happening. And I said it was very quick. I was like, it was a really subtle thing. I also, you mentioned Chris Nolan a lot. I wanted to say, I thought that this felt like a Chris Nolan movie. It reminded me of Dunkirk a little bit, the music as well. And let's talk about that first on-land attack with the original Toho theme playing.
Hell yeah.
That is my favorite scene from any movie in recent memory. When he first gets on scene, he's just wrecking the buildings, walking through the city, causing chaos, and the original dun 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 is playing. That's going to be with me for a while. It's like the Halloween theme. You can never go wrong with the Halloween theme in a Halloween movie. Same here. You can't go wrong with the Toho theme in a Godzilla movie. It's just it never goes out of style.
Did you read my notes? It's like,
no, not at all.
Because yeah. When I wrote, I said this wasn't what I expected from a Godzilla movie. I said even in 2014 they tried for a story, but I just didn't care for it.
Mm-hmm.
And this one nails it. Like I said, everyone's broken in their own unique way. The score is fantastic. The best looking Godzilla I've seen.
Right. Okay. So we agree on that.
If I wanted to nitpick, I would have maybe just wanted more of Godzilla on land destroying shit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I'm that American that wants more Godzilla damage. 8.8 out of 10.
Okay.
I don't want to go 9, but it's up there.
It's up there. Where does it rank? I remember when you saw Godzilla vs. Destroyer, you said that was your favorite Godzilla movie. Does Minus One top that for you?
I don't know. I want to give it some time, but it's close.
Okay. Fair enough.
They're definitely 1, 2, either way.
Okay. Well, okay. I guess I'll give my official rating now. It's funny though. I didn't mean to say repetitive things.
I know. I had all this in my wrap up for the reason I was like, man, like Drew's just still saying the same shit I am.
My fault, bro. Feel free to chime in during my part here. All right. So, to me, due to its sheer heart, Minus One immediately puts itself in the top 2 discussion, alongside the original 1954 Gojira. No other Godzilla film captured the heart, tragedy, and hope like these two movies, and honestly speaking, I think Minus One did it better. I put Shin Godzilla at number 3 because it lacks that aforementioned heart, but is terrifying and apocalyptic. It's the complete opposite of Minus One and Gojira. It leaves you just with no hope. But all 3 are definitely atop of Big G's filmography, both as standalone and disaster pieces, as I like to call them. But everything considered, I feel like Minus One was the culmination of Godzilla's 70 years in existence. It took a little from every other Big G movie here and there, more as a love letter than other film, as a love letter to the other films than to rip them off. Amongst the similarities to other Godzilla designs, we have previously talked about, there's scenes in there like the heat ray underwater and like the Independence Daying of the boat that was directly from Godzilla and Kong. Remember their first encounter? I've said before that I love Godzilla as the hero intent on keeping the balance on Earth, but nothing beats when Godzilla is that disaster movie that puts humanity to the test.
I like Godzilla as the villain better.
Yes. I'll always prefer when Godzilla is a result of man's sin as a result of unchecked nuclear power. Minus One is proof that regardless of how good or bad the U.S. does with handling the character, Big G will always be at his very best and scariest when in the hands of Toho. It's a beautiful film about hope, but in its final moments puts a smile on your face and makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up as we're reminded that Godzilla truly is unstoppable and indestructible. Long live the king. I think Minus One is perfect, honestly, dude. I think Takashi Yamazaki had the perfect bag of elements to give us the Godzilla movie of a lifetime. Gonna be pretty hard to top this one. I had John Wick 4 as my movie of the year. Godzilla Minus One is the movie of the year for me now. It's now the measuring stick of Godzilla movies as far as I'm concerned. 10 out of 10.
You know, I haven't even been keeping a list. I feel like, you know what I've actually been, and now that I think about it, what do I always talk about? Oh, this might be the worst movie of the year. I feel like I haven't even, like, if you ask me what's my top movie, dude, I've seen so many movies, I probably forgot a handful of the movies I've seen, and like later
so
you'd
you're
be
only
like,
keeping a list of the bad movies you've seen.
not even on purpose. It's just I now realize that like I can tell you more of the movies that I think are the worst movie of the year. So I think I might have to sit down maybe this week and just look at the movies from this year and see which is my top, because I have, like I said, but if you like told me like what's your worst, I could just start naming them off.
Yeah, I loved Evil Dead Rise. I loved Cobweb. I loved John Wick 4. Godzilla Minus One, man, 10 out of 10 for me. Like I said, it's perfect, and it's one of those ones that I'm going to be rewatching a lot. And another thing I want to mention real quick before we wrap up is I don't think that he's not the biggest Godzilla, but in the water, he is like, his dorsal plates, they're fucking intimidating looking. When you saw his back in the water, like
it kind of had like a Jaws feel.
Yeah, dude, it was like, oh shit, like you knew that was not good, like coming at you, and like in Legendary, it's like, you know, you see the dorsal plates go through the water, and you're like, fuck yeah. You see these dorsal plates, and you're thinking, oh shit, this does not look good. As a war fan, though, I mean, not as a war fan, but as a war,
fuck yeah, war.
As a war, I guess you'd say, someone who's knowledgeable of the wars like you are, how do you feel like the placement of the movie? I thought that it was good how they made it so it took
They're
place
trying
during
to
a
rebuild,
time.
but then
Boom. But the thing is, they didn't have today's technology to say, oh, wipe Godzilla out with this, wipe him out with that. They were like, what happens when he comes in the 40s when we don't have all this advanced technology?
But yeah, I thought it was interesting to place it then. I like that we brought it back, kind of almost back to the origin story in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, like, Japan devastated after the war, the fire bombings, you know, the 2 atomic bombs, and like they're just trying to get their shit back together, and then Godzilla's like, fuck this. Like, that shit's rough. But I was gonna say, I think we can get into some spoilers now.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you don't like them, get out of here. The one thing, and you said you actually liked it, I didn't bring it up, but was at the end when his new wife, why can't
Oh, don't get me with the character names.
His new wife, that's not even the right way. He didn't have a wife to start with, but you know,
Right.
but his little kind of self-made family, Kyogo?
Koichi.
That wasn't even close. When she turned out to be alive, I kind of went, eh.
Okay.
I thought it took a little of the gut punch out of it as well.
I didn't mind that part. That's the part that made me cry, actually, that I got sad at. Was I think most of it was the acting. But when I found out she was alive, I didn't see that coming. I saw his eject button coming. I saw that coming. Like, that was some Dark Knight Rises shit, right? That another Christopher Nolan, why I think it felt like a Chris Nolan film.
It's a better rest that I go to.
But no, it's, yeah, I didn't mind it. I thought that it was very touching, and even when the telegram came and the neighbor got the note and she read it, and then she meets Koichi after he gets done, you know, his final mission, and she gives him the note, I still was like, what does this say? I had no idea she was alive. So when it was, I thought that was just a really, I thought it was good. I did like that part. Yeah. So
you got me all sad and about her death, and like, I'm like, okay, like, you know, that kind of, you know, it served a purpose here. Oh, she's alive anyway. Okay. That's just kind of how I felt about it.
But I feel like it took Koichi's, it made him motivated, made him do what he had to do, made him man up. So in a way, that's what he needed, I guess.
And when he's flying into Godzilla's mouth, the only thing it was missing was Randy Quaid saying, "Hello, boys, I'm back."
And that's something else that they got from Legendary was, now this is the 30th Godzilla movie, so there's a lot of movies.
There's
and
a lot of shit
scenes.
to pick from.
Yeah, but it was brought up in Godzilla vs. Kong, the American one. Well, yeah, because the other one's Kong vs. Godzilla. But anyway, it was brought up that Mechagodzilla's trying to blow its beam down Godzilla's mouth because the idea is that maybe that's the only way to hurt Godzilla is from the inside. So they kind of used that in Minus One, and that was, when they blow that fucking mine up in his mouth that first time, and they think he's like a dead fish in the water, and he just seals up like the T-1000. You realize, okay, that hurt him, but it didn't kill him. So then they think, all right, let's drop a fucking bomb and drive a suicide bomb in his plane and blow him up from the inside. And goddamn, that was blew the top of his head off. Fucking blew his top off, literally.
Yeah, that's about the only other things I had to really say about it. They were kind of spoilerish. I don't know if you got anything else.
No, I guess I kind of gave the ending away there,
Well, I mean, we're in spoiler territory.
That's true,
so
but
if you're listening, it's your fault.
But besides the ending, I will say that I did think that was another beautiful scene. How, because the Japanese are so honorable, and just because he's a result of their war and the bombs that were dropped from their war. He the way that everybody saluted Godzilla after he was defeated, and he's like, all you see is the blue light shining up from the water, and everybody's standing there saluting. I thought that was like really touching. I'm like, damn, even this thing was just destroying their city and brought the fight to them. They still were like, yo, dude, like, salute. I thought that was pretty deep.
I mean, he got a literal atomic breath. That shit's fucked up.
Oh, we didn't even mention his atomic breath, bro.
No.
All right.
I didn't want to put that in the... I mean, I feel like you should expect it. But,
yeah, that's fair enough.
I didn't want to put it in the non-spoiler, but, dude, that shit that's like the worst I've ever seen. By worst, I mean like the most devastating, damaging I've ever seen Godzilla's breath.
That he literally
shoots a mushroom, he's dropping nukes.
He literally just, like, as my buddy Kurt said, he literally just coughs a nuke out. Like, and
it's got a mushroom cloud and everything.
It literally looks like a nuke dropped. But the difference is it blows past a little bit, like his atomic breath, shoots it out.
You get that blue breath.
So you get that blow.
That's the strain, dog. The strain, the blue breath.
You get that blow effect of his breath hitting buildings, and then the bomb drops. It literally looks like a mushroom cloud from a nuke going off, and then that blowback. Well, I guess that's what you call blowback, brushback, whatever you'd call it from the bomb.
Sonic boom.
Yeah, it looks like the shit from Sarah Connor's Nightmare in Terminator 2.
Yeah,
it's the whole, everything's on fire, and it blows up, and then it comes back the way that his breath had originally been shot. So it doesn't just blow forward; it fucking comes backwards too, and
it comes and blows everywhere.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's my favorite atomic breath for sure. I've never seen him just legit drop nukes like that, and the fact that it damaged him. There was pictures online that had leaked before the movie came out where he's got like little like fires on his face, and it looked like maybe he was being shot at. And that's what I thought it was. I was like, oh, this cool picture of him grimacing. There's cannons shooting at his face or something. And you watch the movie and you realize that's his face regenerating after he used his atomic breath. I think that's the first time
he had that Taco Bell.
I think that's the first time Godzilla's ever had to regenerate from and hurt himself from using his atomic breath. So fucking awesome. That goes to show you right there the power of it.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Yeah, I guess we can wrap it up then.
Thanks to all the horror hounds and smokers out there for tuning in. And this time we actually got an episode announcement. It's a little late, but we'll celebrate Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Hope you're ready for leftovers.
Yeah. Maybe talk about Thanksgiving traditions a little bit, but yeah, make sure to listen next week for that episode. Make sure to follow us online at High on Horror 420, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X. I feel like I'm getting more normal saying X instead of Twitter.
Yeah,
it's starting to feel more normal.
Easing in.
But I still feel like a lot of people go, what the fuck's X? Anyway, You can send us Puff Puff Ask Questions at highonhorror420 at gmail.com. Check out our website, highonhorror.com. And I guess I'll about wrap her up. Catch you later.
Bye, everybody.